Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human Podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. Worlds are waiting. Hello, everyone. It's August 19th. How are you today? This reflection was inspired by a quote from George R.R. Martin's A Dance with Dragons. This is the 5th fantasy novel in A Song of Ice and Fire. Although coming into the mainstream with the HBO series has pretty much renamed it A Game of Thrones, even though that's the title of the first book in the series. I read these in high school, and by the time A Feast for Crows came out in 2005, I was obsessed with them. I loved it. And then A Dance with Dragons came out in 2011, and by that time I was like, I can't get back into it. I don't remember what's going on. I don't remember the characters. And I stopped. I never kept going. But that's not to say I didn't love them, because I did. They were fantastic, and they were mind-blowing, especially for me as a kid, you can imagine. All right, here is the quote. "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies," said Jojen. "The man who never reads lives only one." Now that's a great quote. But it's also clearly, I think, an homage to the Shakespeare quote from Julius Caesar, "A coward dies 1,000 times before his death, but the valiant taste of death but once." George R.R. Martin having a little fun there. I can appreciate that. All right, and here is my reflection. There were 3 things that I believe, for the lack of a better word, quote-unquote, saved me. Or at least shielded me to a degree from the traumatic events of my childhood. I'll emphasize again that there were wonderful times, but certainly too, as you know by now, events that were burned into my memory, leaving indelible scars. Those 3 things were 1. Video games. Playing video games mostly on Sega Genesis, PlayStation, and Nintendo 64, with my brother, sister, and friends was great fun. But more than that, it was single-player JRPGs, Japanese role-playing games. I'd play on Sega Genesis, like Shining Force 2 and Phantasy Star 4, that allowed me to escape reality, dive into new worlds, and inhabit the bodies of heroes, if only for a few hours or so at a time. 2. Friends. It was the 90s, so I could just tell my parents that I was going out with my friends, grab my bike, and disappear into other towns, the mall, the woods, or the beach, staying out from sunrise to sunset. My friends were a sense of stability outside of an unstable home. They were a constant, and aside from the occasional squabbles, I always knew what to expect from them. And I knew that they were there for me. 3. Books. One of the many great benefits of reading books, along with being the best brain exercise around, the sharpening and expanding of vocabulary, and the broadening of your limited individual horizon, is that it allows you to live those 1,000 lives and walk in the shoes of others, for any amount of paragraphs, pages, chapters, centuries, eons, and epochs. Reading the fantasy stories of Jacques Redwall, Tolkien's Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, Haydon's Symphony of Ages, and countless comic books stole me away from a life that I sometimes did not wish to inhabit, and thrust me into fantastical worlds and realms with magic, sorcery, powers, heroes, villains, and breathtaking landscapes. As I was reading these stories, I became other people. The young boy from Amityville became a holy knight of Redwall Abbey, a brave and humble hobbit from the Shire, a stoic bastard son of nobility from Winterfell, or a roguish card-slinging mutant from Louisiana. Living these lives gave me a break from my own. Like for so many people, they allowed me to breathe, to step away from the yelling and the violence, from the schoolwork and the bullies. They brought me to places I never could have imagined. They shocked me with the unthinkable evils enacted by villains. And they widened my eyes and dropped my jaw with the brave and selfless and noble deeds of the heroes. They filled my young mind, and now my 40-year-old mind, with wonder. It's actually 41 now. Read every chance you get. It's wonderful to take in stories through other media, but reading is something special in its own right. It's a deeply human thing, sending another's thoughts directly into your brain. And it's one of our superpowers, granting us the ability to live another life, to inhabit other worlds, and to learn so much about others and ourselves in doing so. And there ends today's reflection. So I finally got back to The Tombs of Atuan by Ursula K. Le Guin. And I was reading that last night, and it's amazing being brought into that world, being in the dark, in the tombs, under the hill. It's so much fun. Reading that really is just like, it's like going back to my childhood and reading those fantasy stories for the first time. What a wonderful thing. How it transports you. It's like, it really is like magic, isn't it? Right? All right, well, here is your reflection question. What lives have I lived through reading? How has it helped me? Can I forego other uses of time like television and social media to read more? What are you reading right now? Let me know. All right, that's it for today, August 19th, and I'll be back tomorrow, August 20th, with another reflection. And wow, we're coming to the end of the month. Holy smokes. Have a good one, and take care.